This is the crypto trading strategy that AI generated me. It's pretty straightforward. I have adjusted the prompt in the way that the strategy will work in any market. So it's called adaptive future strategy because I want this strategy to act as a passive strategy that will be able to work in any market. Doesn't matter if it's bearish or bullish. The idea that this strategy will determine the market direction, and based on that will actually create the proper trends to profit in any market. So in this video, we're gonna be testing the AI generated crypto strategy and figure out if it's viable enough to use in the market even under certain conditions. And remember our last video where we were testing the sample strategy provided by Freak Trade. If you haven't watched this video, I highly recommend go back and watch it because it provides lots of the context to what we're doing here right now, and you will get much better understanding why we're using this strategy. So this is the version of the strategy that is created with hypervisor parameters. So basically it benefits from the ability to perform lots of testing on the strategy, so it can just run lots of different variations during backtest with different parameters and thus find the most optimal parameter configuration. But this code is really complicated. I don't like it. It's hard to understand it. So I just go back to the simple version of the code. And right now what we're gonna do is just simply run the strategy as it is and try to adjust it under different scenarios to find out how to make it profitable. So at the moment, I have made the first run on the strategy. Yeah, so I run it for 3 trading pairs, Bitcoin and Binance Coin. It's resulted in loss. We had more losses than wins. Still, the output of the strategy was almost zero, so we haven't lost anything, neither we haven't gained anything, we just lose tiny bit. But we have more losses than gains, and let's see why. So this strategy has been running since February till August. 1000 USDT starting balance. So BC make 0 profit and ETC was unprofitable. That's interesting because the strategy tends to be adaptable to different market conditions. So I have updated this strategy with AI to include the IDX verification. So basically what we're doing here, we want to measure the trend strength. And this is important because we don't want to trade in the uncertain market. So when the market stays flat and we are not sure if it goes up or goes down, we prefer to not trade because this is where we're making the biggest losses. So ADX basically the technical indicator that can show us the strength of the market direction. So it can vary from 0 to 100, and we can see how we're filtering. So if the market is weaker than 20%, so we don't see any strength, we just not entering the market. We expect at least 20% confidence that market has set in direction. So just rerun the same test just with the IDX condition. So we executing the command. All right, so we now done it, and visually we can see we have some profit. Well, I would say that we don't have any profit because ideally we don't have anything. It just at least we don't have minuses in our chart. And we can see that now we have 4 wins, 4 losses. So we slightly optimize it, but I wouldn't count it because it literally means nothing here. So what we can see is that it was both the best and the worst pair in the trade. So basically we made some profits, but also made some losses. During the period of time was pretty volatile, so it has a strong bullish period, but the market wasn't stable and we still haven't made anything so far. So let's think which parameters we can tune to basically see if we getting into any direction here. I would say let's make stop loss larger for 5% and see if we can benefit from this one. Nothing really, still the same, as this strategy is not sensible to the stop loss, so we'll leave it the same 2%. So the problem is that right now what we can see in 50% of cases, our strategy does not make the right decision. So it only makes the right decision in 50% of cases. And I think we can think about it by considering these indicators. So let's say the strategy to trade only this 50% of strength direction. Let's increase it dramatically and see how it will influence. So what we can see that there was no more than 50% strength in the market, so no trades were made, and we're getting really demanding here. So I'll go down to 30. Now we got even worse, so we were still remaining unchanged. We're not losing or gaining something, but the statistics win to lose, we make less winning decisions and more losing decisions. So the market strength doesn't particularly positive influences it. Anyway, let's try the 40 one more time and see how it will behave. So yes, now with 40, situation slightly different because we only made one trade, it was win. So our profit technically was 0.04 from the percent, which is literally nothing. So we're still not counting and we're getting anywhere from here. So I'll leave it for 20 as it was initially. And instead, what I want to do, I want to check, I want to be more aggressive with RSI. So let's enter long when RSI is less than 25% and enter short when RSI is more than 75%. Let's play with RSI entry points to see what we can benefit from here. Yes, we're getting too demanding, we get nothing here. So I don't think we can benefit much from here. We can populate, wow, the exit. We can be 30 and 70, maybe it will soften it, nothing here. And why I'm testing on the same time range all the time, because I think this period of February to August 2025 was the really good example of a multi-directional market. So the spring was really bearish, and starting from the June it became bullish. So it's a good example, it's a good time frame to test the current strategy. It's kind of uncertain, shaky market, and this strategy shows us that we really can't do much here. So let me think what else we can do here to adjust the strategy. This strategy doesn't have lots of parameters in particular, so we can try testing it another way. Let's leave everything as it is. So let's leave the initial 65 and 35, and let's start testing just long. So let's comment out shorts and see what's going on longs. So that way we can identify which part of the strategy bring losses, short or long. So let's do the test on the longs only. So on the longs we got a slight improvement, not significant, but now we have 3-to-1 a win to loss ratio, and we made some profit with 4 trades. So it's not bad, but it's not something dramatic. We can try to scale this thing up with adding more trading pairs, increasing budgets, and see how it performs. But before I move forward, I just want to make a reverse test. So I want to test short only, and I assume short only should have the opposite. So it should have 3 losses and 1 win. Let's go and test it. So now I'm uncommenting shorts and commenting out longs. Yes. So this is what I was expecting. The shorts are not very reliable. They are bringing most of our issues here. So we need to think about something with shorts and optimize our shorting. Move forward, let's focus on the longs. What we can do with the longs. And what I want to see if increasing budget or adding new trading pairs will change situation dramatically. So the first thing I'm gonna do is to increase budget. I go to my configuration and go the stake amount. We have 3 trading pairs, so we can easily go to 300. Oh, we have leverage 10. That's really a lot. So let's have leverage 1 at the moment. Max open trades 3. That's fine because we have only 3 trading pairs. And let's see if increasing budget will change the situation. Okay, so that's interesting. Profit seemed to grow up, but now we have winning more than losing. And why? Did I make any mistake in the strategy itself? Oh, yes. Suppose I suppose I changed 2 parameters instead of 1. I have leverage 10 before and I increased the stake. So let's get back to the original and make one test of one change in time. So let's have leverage 1 and see how the long will behave here. Yeah, so the situation remains the same. It's leverage 1. We have 3 to 1. And if we increase our stake to, okay, let 100 first. Let's make it gradually, because it doesn't sound logical to me why we making losses more than we gaining. That's, yeah. Increasing the budget, I assume that leads to burning out leverage faster, and that's why, well, no, that's the case. That's interesting. Increasing the budget actually leads to more losses than, I mean, it's not financially, but more losses in the trades. That doesn't make sense to me, because if you're making the same trade just with different budget, you should scale up. Okay, we don't have any correlation here. This is what the practice shows us. So we can't do much here. And I don't think the changing the budget edging more trading pairs will significantly change something here. So having that, I can conclude that strategy requires lots of optimization. So the short part, the short entry, short exit is unprofitable at all. So we need to completely redo it. The long part is almost not profitable, so it remains where it is. So we have 2 options here: continue digging into these parameters and try to find the sweet spot, or stop relying on AI and build our strategy. Yeah, we might ask AI to create the code, but we will create our own algorithm of how to create trades and program it here and see. Additionally, I would probably create separate strategy for longs and for shorts. That way I can see, well, right now I can comment out, but if I will run it for a couple of months for test, in that case, I'll be able to have better visibility of which strategy performs better during which periods of the market. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned and subscribe to my channel, because in my next video, I'll be building my own strategy based on all of the analysis of 3D market and best decision makers for the top best traders in the world. I'll try to code in this freak trade code everything they are doing, so we can create a strategy that actually actively trades and makes money passively, similarly to what the day traders are doing. And we'll see if we will be able to generate a decent return from this strategy. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.